After 39 of 80 laps in the ARCA Pepsi 200, Lance Hooper has put himself into first place. Frank Kimmel drawn up into second. Tracy Leslie motoring to third. Bill Venturini is out of motor. He's been slowing the last couple of laps as we come to halfway on the racetrack. 40 down and 40 to go on this 2.5-mile track. Under pressure. You're watching Shelmerdine, and a lot of pressure being exerted as the pole sitter, Blaise Alexander, squares off here and tries to move up a notch.
Kirk holding the lower line down the Long Pond straightaway. Blaise Alexander does not seem to be quite as quick as he was in the early part of the race. But coming up through the crowd like he's had to do, you have to use a lot of patience.
You wonder about Kirk Shelmerdine driving this black number 3 car. He won 44 times as crew chief for Dale Earnhardt, 4 championships. Crew chiefs in Winston Cup make $500,000 a year and on up. Instead, Shelmerdine would rather drive a race car and make just a few dollars.
Yeah, he had 16 years as a Winston Cup mechanic, crew chief in that role. Really wanted to race. Take a look at who's moved up the most, buddy, thus far in this race.
Wow.
Christian Elder from 27th, currently 15th on the show. Mike Swain, 23rd up to 12th.
How about Kimmel there? 12th to 2nd. Kevin Ray dropped back to 18th, now all the way up to 8th.
They see more out of him before this day is over. Good struggle continues. Alexander chasing Shelmerdine, and just behind him, the point leader, Bill Baird, oldest driver on the field in the number 52. So you're watching right here, 4th, 5th, and 6th. And they're in the middle of the sandwich.
Kirk's trying to cut him off as they head to turn 3. He's taking a lot of racetrack there. Drives it much deeper in the corner than Alexander. Just behind him, the points leader, Baird, is moving in 52.
Randy Pemberton can tell us more.
Mike Giacchetti has parked his car. I guess you broke your engine. What happened?
We were running real good. All of a sudden, things started skipping after about 4th lap after that restart. I hate it for the guys. We worked real hard. It's a brand new car. One we got from Penske, and I just gotta, thank them for all their help. And I hated it. It must be a broken rock arm or something, but we're pleased that we ran up front. Consider where we started. We're gonna be grateful for all the help we've got from the Winner's Circle and Blade Sportswear. They've been tremendous, and we've got some big things happening for next year. I'll be able to tell you about soon.
Okay, Mike Giacchetti still looking for his first win on the ARCA Series. Now to Steve Burns.
Randy, Billy Venturini, young man, has just climbed from his race car as well. Billy, what put you out today?
Broke the motor. We've had some bum luck the last 3 races. Breaking motors the last 3 races. Had good race cars, unfortunately. We just, got to be around at the end, have good finishes.
Son of the former ARCA champion, Bill Venturini, guys.
Bill Baird just put a move on Blaise Alexander at the tunnel turn that's picked him up a spot, and that was an oh my heart kind of move.
Yeah, it was, and he actually made a little bit of contact there, but nothing to really get that concerned about. But he did put a little sheet metal on him. Bill Baird in the 52 there, just behind the 3 of Kurt Shelmerdine as they head down Long Pond straightaway. Baird turned it up another notch now.
Remember what we just have been hearing. Engines, engines, engines. This place is incredibly tough on engines. They wind them up down this long front straightaway, and it's really tough on the valve trains. In 1997 in this race, believe it or not, 10 of the field dropped out with blown engines. Battle seen a bunch today.
Battle for 4th right here. Let's see if the engines are going to hold up for Shelmerdine. And 49-year-old turning 50 this coming Monday, Bill Baird. 3-time winner this year on the ARCA circuit. Leads in points. Here you see coming down the main straightaway. Baird in the number 52. Challenging, going after Shelmerdine. The fight is on as they go into turn number 1. Not this time. Shelmerdine shuts him down.
They're picking up the throttle on the bottom part of the racetrack. We see a car in trouble here.
That's Chuck Weber's number 24. It's come off the pace. Look at this battle. Blaise Alexander back on the outside, trying to overhaul both of them.
Blaise Alexander, 97, just a second ago. Bill Baird pushed him out of the way, but now you can see Blaise Alexander fighting back here as Bill Baird looks over the back quarter panels there.
All of this for 4th, 5th, and 6th as Hooper stays first. Kimmel 2nd. Tracy Leslie is running in 3rd, and now down the inside goes Alexander, and right with him comes Bill Baird. The 97 is pulling up into 4th. Mike Hogwood can add more.
A few laps ago, Blaze Alexander tried to get by Kurt Shelmerdine. He got really loose, got back out of the throttle, and it's almost like he had to regroup and get himself ready emotionally to make this charge again. But when he did, the 97 is flying.
Really coming on. Buddy, you think Kevin Ray's going to be a player in this deal?
I do indeed. He's moving in just behind Bill Baird back there. He's sitting there and moving himself right on up there. As Bill Baird makes a move, the kid is moving up with him.
Weber in the 24. Going to be a short day for him. Just barely idling in.
And he had not pitted on that last round of pit stops.
Hooper stays first. Kimmel second. Leslie third. Here's your leader, Lance Hooper. 80 laps the distance, 200 miles to be run. And Lance Hooper has put on some kind of show, as is Kimmel. I think it's one of the best ARCA races we've seen.
It is, but Kimmel is closing in. This thing is going to get a whole lot better up front. We haven't seen Bill Baird lead this race so far today. He's led more laps than anybody else so far. On board with Hooper.
You can see him looking in the mirror. He realizes they're moving in on him just a little bit. This is a headrest right here. You can see him going through the corners, using that to stabilize his helmet as he goes through the corner, putting a lot of pressure on that thing.
And this is the only super speedway in America where you'll see them shift the race cars during the event itself. These straightaways are so long, if you don't do that, you either have to breathe the engine or you're going to blow it up.
Best ARCA finish this year for that number 47, 8th on the 1.5 miles at Charlotte, North Carolina. Lance Hooper has got this Richard Jackson car flying. Lucas Oil Pontiac now leading.
Nice gear change. You didn't hear the motor barely change sounds as he jerked it back into high gear. Now back up in the third, hard down into the corner on the outside groove, trying to get by a lap car there.
Those Winston West drivers, they seem to always do well in a course that's like a road course. I don't know if it goes all the way back to Riverside or not, but you think about Chuck Bound and all those kids that came out of there. Look at the job Hooper is doing.
Well, they got Portland, too, another road course, and they do run there as well.
1996 Winston West NASCAR champion Lance Hooper from Palmdale, California is out in front with 47 of 80 complete.
The TVS Super Shop has super collectibles of all your favorite cars and drivers. Call toll-free 1-877-577-SHOP or visit us online at tvssupershop.com to get in on the action.
For all the news in sports and much, much more, log on to cnnsi.com, the ultimate address in sports. Taking a look back up front in this ARCA Pepsi 200 on the 2.5-mile Pocono, Pennsylvania track, where tomorrow the Winston Cup stars get at it for 500 miles, the 26th annual. First and second right there on the outside. That number 47 coming at you is Lance Hooper, and Kimmel right there in second spot.
Yeah, it was seconds apart. Now it's down to car lengths as Frank Kimmel moves in. He's less than a car length behind our race leader, Lance Hooper, as they head into turn 1.
Jerry Hill, who had been running 17th on pit road and being pushed back into the garage area with the Land O'Lakes Chevy.
Hood was up on that car, obviously more engine trouble.
Tracy Leslie stays third. Quietly running along, having a very good day, out of trouble, but way in these two leaders. The squabble is between Mike Alexander, Bill Baird, Kevin Ray getting into it, and Shelmerdine. That would be 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th spot.
We're going to have one more pit stop at least today for all these teams, and they'll have a chance to adjust the cars and shake up the order a little bit. See if they can make the car a little bit faster. Contend at the end for the win.
What's the prediction on when they'll be in?
Next caution flag for sure.
Oh, boy.
And if not, that's really sticking.
We're getting very close now. I'd say within 5-6 more laps, they'll have to start thinking about it. So if it's green flag, the guys with the better pit crews get a tremendous advantage. Under a caution, it really does not matter that much how fast they work in the pit. But under green, it does.
There's the front two. Leslie staying third. And Mike Alexander's number 97 is in 4th. With more on the story, here's Mike Hogwood.
Dick Bergen was talking about the adjustments. They planned the adjustments on the 97 car. This is a tank of air. Here's the hose. just like you would have at your service station. Now, they're going to adjust the car. They've taken a pound of air pressure out of the left rear. Blaze says the car is a little bit too loose, and so in order to tighten him up, they're going to adjust the air pressure in the tires, and they hope that works, and they'll put him up front.
Blaze Alexander. Did I say Mike Alexander? Boy, I wish he was still racing. Gosh.
Okay, what he was talking about there, he dropped a pound of air pressure. That's equivalent to 50 pounds of weight to the left rear. It makes it get better grip, push the front end, and it tightens the car up where it does not hang the back of the car out.
Blaze Alexander in 4th place, and you can see the handful right there, buddy.
You can see him shifting there. He's got his hands full right now because he's got a mirror full of Frank Kimmel there, the second car in the frame.
Now, there are the 2 leaders. You see Hooper in first, and right behind him comes Frank Kimmel. And as you fade back, that's the short chute they're running with that very flat 3rd turn. Tracy Leslie has some making up to do to get there. Almost 5 seconds now back to the 3rd place automobile on the field. That's how much these 2 leaders have pulled away. They say that Hooper will be coming in very shortly. Your leader, Randy Pemberton, can tell us more.
Well, it'll be at least 2 laps before Lance Hooper hits pit road. They are discussing exactly what they want to do here. They have told me so far they've only taken on right side tires. Yesterday in practice, Lance said there was no tire wear whatsoever. What they plan to do is come in when they can make it on 1 full fuel stop to go the distance. So as soon as they get to that point, they'll bring them down pit road. They will not change tires at all, is what they're thinking here in the Lance Hooper pit. But we'll see when he comes in about a lap and a half.
That's always been the Achilles heel for ARCA, those pit stops. And boy, have they been working on them.
Yeah, and the leaders right now are dealing with lap traffic. You see Andy Belmont in the blue car there being lapped over again. That's a couple of laps he's behind right now.
Jimmy Kitchens, running 13th, has just brought his car in, the number 67. Speed limit on pit road, 55 miles per hour. Here comes Hooper.
Leader heading for pit road right now.
Randy Pemberton waiting on the leader. Kimmel goes into 1st place as Hooper settles it down, brings it in, comes to a perfect stop.
55 mile an hour speed limit if you wonder why they come in that slow.
Randy?
They only need a nice smooth stop here. They have decided to go ahead and take right side tires. You see the wedge wrench in on the right side rear of the car. They're going to go ahead and make an adjustment. Make sure they absolutely get this car filled. I see that, oh, they got a wedge wrench stuck. It is stuck. Terrible break for Lance Hooper. He will have to come back down pit road. 16.9, but it doesn't matter. He will have to hit the pits again. That blew that strategy.
That's a heartbreaker for Hooper.
What he's talking about is this weight wrench right there on the right rear corner of the windshield that's left in the car, and NASCAR or ARCA will bring them in and make them pull it out. There. Right there it is. You see it sticking up.
It's going to cost him this race. He has to come back in. Now Frank Kimmel's getting ready for his pit stop. Frank Kimmel in the 46.
That's Wayne Likas on pit road right now. Tell you what, it's a whole lot easier to lose one of these things than it is to win it. You can see that wrench sticking right out there. If the crew had only pulled that wrench out, he may well have had a chance to win the race. Without it, he's going to have to pit again and remove it.
And the reason they would black flag you, even though it looks pretty secure there, that top part there is an adjustable wrench, and if it gets on the racetrack, it could puncture a tire.
Pretty easily. So he's headed back for pit road. Kimmel first, Leslie second, Alexander third, Bill Baird to 4th. Kevin Ray is now 5th, and Shelmerdine dropping back to 6th. Bobby Gerhart in 7th. Yellow is out. There is a caution on the speedway.
Boy, was that a break for Lance Hooper. He can come back in and remove that wrench now.
And he's already had his service, so his pit stop will be really quick.
Talk about getting an advantage back after looking like you were at the bottom of the pit. It just happened to Lance Hooper in that Richard Jackson number 47.
Yeah, because when they give you the black flag from the flag stand there, you have 4 laps to come in.
There's your leader. That's Kimmel out in front with the 46. Belmont just in front, still trying to make up that lap. And let's get to Steve Burns.
Ken, this caution came out just a few laps prior to when Frank Kimmel was going to pit, so this should be inside their fuel window. They should be good to the end. Talk to his brother, the crew chief, Bill Kimmel. Bill says they'll make very minor adjustments, an air pressure adjustment. Otherwise, change 4 tires and be set to go the rest of the way.
For debris on the speedway, 3rd caution of the day. in this ARCA Pepsi 200 from Pocono, Pennsylvania on TBS. Tomorrow, it's the Pennsylvania 500. We'll be with you at 12:35. Post time is 1:05. A lot of great pre-race stories to be told. Hope you'll be with us. Pit road still closed, and Hooper will get an opportunity to come in here with everybody else and get themselves on pit road.
What a lucky break that was for him. Had that caution flag not have occurred, Hooper certainly would have been in serious trouble for this event, but he can come in, make a quick stop, they pull the wrench out, and he's all set.
Kimmel first, Leslie second, Alexander third, Baird in fourth. Pit stops upcoming here at Pocono.
The ARCA Pepsi 200 on TBS Superstation is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Get your signature service oil change at Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change. And by Napa Auto Parts. We keep America running.
You don't want to start that with me, I don't think.
Back with you once again at Pocono. We are under caution. This should be the lap where they pull in for pit stops. And this will take them home for sure. 12 cars in the lead lap. 58 laps have been completed as they head for pit road. 145 miles, just 55 miles left to go. Steve Burns waiting on your leader, Frank Kimmel. Eases it in. The Advanced Auto Parts car, which has had such a great run today. And he's there. Here's Steve.
Well, Ken, Frank Kimmel comes to the attention of the crew. His brother, Bill Kimmel, is the crew chief. They have Jack on the left front. He overshot his pits. They had to move him back, Ken. That's going to cost them time down here. They had to move him back so that he wouldn't cause a violation down here. We have the stopwatch on the number 46 of Frank Kimmel. They're still on the right side of the car. This is going to be an extremely long pit stop for Frank Kimmel. This is going to cost him positions on the racetrack. We're upwards of 29 seconds. Over 30 seconds now. The left side tires are finally on. 34 seconds for Frank Kimmel.
That's costly. Track position. Look at those 12 cars in that lead lap. You've got to do a lot of digging here in these last few miles to make up for that pit stop.
The lead lap cars were the only ones allowed to pit on the first time around. Next time around, everybody else can pit.
Now there's a dozen. Take another look here, buddy.
Frank Kimmel coming in. See him coming down. Oh, yeah, he just overshot this line right here. And now they have to push it back. And that's ARCA's right in front there telling them that they're out of the box.
And there's no penalty so long as you push the car back before you do the service. But if they'd done the service without pushing the car back, they would have been penalized.
Boy, I tell you, I got to work on that ARCA. I've done so many NASCAR things.
Well, the other thing of it is these cars look so much like the Winston Cup cars, and indeed many of them have been Winston Cup cars. When they're built brand new for ARCA, they're built just the way Winston Cup cars are built.
Well, they are just like Winston Cup cars, except for cubic inch dollars. I mean, it's like having a bat and a glove, except you raise it to such a great level in that Winston Cup racing. That's the top of the line.
Let me make it a lot easier than that. Half of the field there, they are Winston Cup cars that are purchased for ARCA.
Used equipment. Used car race. No, not exactly. They put a lot of work in these cars.
Oh, absolutely.
And this series, as Dick Berggren pointed out to you earlier, running on dirt, running on very short tracks, and running super speedways, has a lot to say for itself. Let's go back to the pits for a moment.
Well, we'll document what Lance Hooper did. You remember the wedge wrench stuck in that car. They did come down pit road when that caution came out. Unfortunately, they came down pit road while the pits were closed. So they got the wedge wrench out. They went ahead and changed left side tires while they were here. Unfortunately, right now, they will now have to go to the tail end of the longest line for the restart. One other unfortunate incident is the fact that they thought that they were told to come to pit road. It was a miscommunication, and the ARCA officials said they absolutely could have waited, so he would have been right in the mix, but he's going to start at the tail end of the longest line.
We thought he'd run those 3 laps out, and so I had to go back to the tail end of the longest line. And of course, that will be the cars that are a lap down.
He's still okay. He has new left side tires. They got the wrench out right here. He's back in the battle. He had an awfully good car, and he moved up through the field one time. He probably can do it again.
Absolutely. He's still got a shot at this thing.
50 miles to go right now. 50 remaining. It's going to be fun to see what Lance Hooper can do in the final moments of this ARCA Pepsi 200 at Pocono. Coming up next, it's NASCAR 99, Road to the Championship. Watch the superstars of NASCAR Winston Cup Racing make their final adjustments for tomorrow's running of the 26th annual Pennsylvania 500. We've still got a lot of exciting laps to go in this ARCA Pepsi 200 today. And as we get ready on a restart on the shakeout, after everybody's been in under caution, Jeff Findlay now finds himself with his number 83 Chevrolet up on the point. Qualified 16th for today's race. Blaze Alexander right there in second spot. Getting ready on that restart.
Findlay's a good one. He's finished as high as 4th here at Pocono, driving a car that Matt Hunter drove here in June, finished 2nd in.
And also had a little help from David Eft, a great crew chief, when they were up here running.
Darrell Lanigan back there, number 46. He will be in that 3rd position. Lance Hooper in the 29 car is in 3rd. Lanigan. And then it's the number 47 of Hooper. Lanigan in the 29 as they come down to the restart. We're showing 12 cars in the lead lap. Remember, with 10 laps to go in ARCA, cars do not race back to the yellow.
Well,
except in that final.
Finley got a great jump there.
Yeah, he got a great jump. 4-5 car lengths. There's the number 97, Alexander. He just joined us. He's set on the pole with a new event record, over 164 miles an hour. And he goes chasing Findlay. Here's your Napa leaderboard. Get down into the final moments of this one. 18 laps to go. And Shelmerdine back there having a very good run. 7th spot to work his way up through.
Riding with Blaze Alexander in your 2nd place car as they head down into turn 3. Looking Findlay over, taking a little tighter line as they go through the corner. Findlay's car a little bit loose in that area there. The back of the car jumping around just a little bit as they head down the longest straightaway that they'll see all year long.
And because it is so long, you want to be letter perfect when you come off that very flat 3rd turn. Back they come to the 14-degree banking of turn number 1.
Blaze Alexander can tuck his nose up underneath the back end of Findlay. He'll help get loose just like that. That's exactly the way to gain position here at Pocono. Get right on a guy's back bumper, loosen up the tail end of the car, and boom, you're gone.
And the reason that works, you push a wall of air up under the car, and it actually lifts the car up, makes it light in the back.
It's going to bring Bill Baird along up to 2nd spot. Let's go to Mike Hogwood.
When they came in for the pit stops, the talk was on the radio. Guys, let's make it perfect. No mistakes. And that's just the kind of pit stop they had. We talked about the air pressure adjustment. Back on the track, crew chief Dave Liner has just told his driver, Blaze Alexander, buddy, this is your race to win. Go get it.
Yeah, well, Kimmel's right here, too. He's ready to go for it.
You know what? Anybody in the top 10 right now, they're telling them to go up there and get it.
Anybody in the top 20, they're telling them to go get it because it's showtime. We've got 64 down to 17 laps to go in this event.
3rd, 4th, right there. And then you see 5th down to the bottom of the racetrack. Findlay holding on to that 3rd spot, trying to make it stick.
Just at the back of that group, I can see Lance Hooper fighting his way back up towards the front. I'm sure we'll see him before the end of the race working his way back towards the front group here.
Look at Alexander just trying to pull away from Kimmel. 1st and 2nd.
He's only got a 1-second lead on Kimmel, though. He's had that before, and Kimmel has closed it.
Here comes that struggle for 3rd spot. Findlay and Baird at it. Findlay in the yellow car coming at you at about 190 miles per hour.
You can see a car jump way over to the right-hand side of your screen there. That's Lance Hooper coming right down. Now he blends back into traffic.
All the way from the back of the...
We have trouble on the front straightaway.
Crash coming out of turn number 3. They do not race back to the flag except in the last 10 laps.
Rick Skinner's involved in that.
There's that 11 car, and for the second time today, it's involved. Shaw has racked his car up. Fourth caution of the day.
Rick Skinner with a bent up front end.
And you can see that on the top of the race car right there, he's been around backwards because he employed the roof flaps there.
We'll take a commercial break, get ready for the finish of this one. A little time to clear up the track. 2 cars to be removed, the number 11 and 30, and back with you. They tried to assassinate the president. Now they're after his daughter. The war against terrorism just got personal. A Superstation original. First Daughter premieres August 15th only on the Superstation. At Pocono, Pennsylvania. Final moments of this one. After leading the first 26 laps, Blaze Alexander was back in the pack, fighting for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Now he finds himself leading the attack on this very difficult, challenging speedway. Frank Kimmel got himself in 2nd. Perhaps the biggest story of all, however, is back in 10th spot, where Lance Hooper, number 47, is in that 10th position as we get ready to go. We'll be back for the restart in the final moments of the Pepsi ARCA 200 after this. Stay with us.
Race fans, the 99 Simpson Racing catalog is now available. For information, call 1-800-71-RACIN or visit the Simpson website at simpsonraceproducts.com. You can be a Winston Cup team owner and compete for over $200,000 in cash and prizes by playing Ned Jarrett's Fantasy Cup Auto Racing. Call 1-800-877-RACE for your rule book. Communications provided by Racing Radios, the leader in racing communications worldwide. Call us today at 1-800-669-1522 for all your two-way needs for race teams and scanners and headsets for the fans. And at the track, see TrackScan on Vendors Row for all your on-site scanning needs.
.68 laps complete, 30 miles to go. And they're just about ready to complete the 69th lap, 27 and a half from there, and they've still got a ways to go before we go. There you see Blaze Alexander, who is leading the parade with Frank Kimmel in 2nd and Jeff Findlay, who qualified, 18-16 in 3rd spot presently. But this is the story of the moment. Take a look at Lance Hooper's number 47. That Lucas car back in 10th spot. And it's going to be fun to see him on the start. Mark it as 11. Mark him in 11th as we get ready on the restart. An STP pit roundup right now, and let's get with it in the story down in the pits.
Well, Ken, we can call that lucky 11 for Lance Hooper. We've documented all the problems he's had today, leaving the wedge wrench in, having to come back down on pit road, going to the tail end of the longest line. Well, when they were in the pits the last time, they decided to go ahead and change left side tires. They just pretty much did it for the heck of it. Look what they found on the left rear tire. Had he kept on going another 2 or 3 laps, this tire's down to the cord, he would have been in the wall. So he's still in the race. We'll call it lucky 11 now, but it might be lucky number 1 before it's over.
And what that is, that's called a blister. And it actually blisters the rubber part of the tire away from the cords on the racing tire itself.
That's Lance Hooper ready to go to work from 11th spot. Laps running out.
He's not got a lot of time to do it. Just a couple of laps ago, he didn't want to see that caution flag come out because we're on lap 69 now, and this thing only goes to 80 laps. Hooper's got his work cut out for him.
And a lot of lap cars on the inside of.
Let's take a look at who's made a change of most positions here since lap 50. Findlay certainly has done a great job here. Jeff Findlay, now shown in 3rd, was 15th. Cox car, the number 23, is up in there too.
Mike Swain Jr. also has had a nice run.
And dropping back some, Hooper to 11th spot. That's what's going to make this story so exciting, is watching Lance Hooper come up. Tracy Leslie's dropped back 4, as you can see. Getting ready to get this one going once again. Quickly to Steve Burns.
Hey, Ken, we're in the number 21 pits of Tracy Leslie. Now, this is Amy Behrens, who works on this team. And, folks, this is not a publicity stunt. Amy, tell the folks at home what you do on this race team.
I work on the car, I work on the engine, and help put together, basically.
And also on pit stops, you're changing tires. That's a tough job.
Yes, it is. Very tough. A lot of pressure.
And you started as a diesel mechanic, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guys, and just to let you know, she raises Clydesdale horses on a 300-acre farm back in Ohio.
She's quite an interesting gal.
Took me to my knee almost yesterday. I shook her hand. I tell you what, she's strong. You don't have to be big to be strong, believe me.
This is going to be a really interesting restart as they come off the third turn to take the green flag. We'll watch them all fan out because this could well be the last restart of the day. Could well determine who could win this race. Fans are on their feet waiting for it, and so are we.
70 complete when they come to the line, 10 to go. Alexander trying to squeeze the trigger, pull away from the field. Kimmel will try to hold right on. Back there at 11. Lance Hooper's got one thing on his mind, passing 10 cars in 10 laps.
Alexander got a great start. Opened up a bunch of space between himself and Kimmel.
3 car lengths, but here comes Kimmel back. Kimmel roars right back out of turn number 1 and comes after Alexander.
Kimmel, a 2-time winner this year, looking Blaze Alexander over as they head down the back straightaway and then through the tunnel turn. It's going to be the car that sticks the best in the corner right now. Straightaway, they all seem to be running very close to each other.
Kimmel coming after him, and here comes Hooper.
Mark Gibson ahead of him. We're with Hooper now.
Now you can see he wanted to make a move there, but there's lap traffic on both sides, so he couldn't get by. And now he's on the outside of the 59 there. But Mark Gibson, looking him over, cannot make the pass yet.
Mark Gibson at 59. Disastrous day at Talladega a year ago. Had hard luck at Daytona back in February, trying to make it run here. No place to go. Here comes Hooper up the outside. He may knock Gibson.
Right in front of him.
And he gets through.
Whoa, big crash.
Hooper down to the inside. He hooked it the other way and made it through.
And Kevin Ray in the 79 also, right under the wreck there.
Dirt, they used to call it the reverse slide. I never saw that.
Well,
like that on asphalt. What a move.
We're inside 10 laps now.
Running back to the line with less than 10 laps, they will run back to the line. Alexander trying to hold that track position as number 1. Kimmel still coming after him. Bill Baird lies there in 3. They'll come off the throttle when they hit the line. Under yellow. Baird is 3rd. And dodging more than a bullet, a cannonball out there. Take a look. The number 14, Christian Elder's car. We're seeing him clambering out of number 14.
That's a nice shot. Be able to see the driver okay, still with a bit of a smile on his face, despite the fact that that car is thoroughly trashed.
The great clips. Pontiac just got clipped. There's the other car involved. That's the 19. And that's Kevin Counselor's car, number 19. Story there. Kevin Counselor involved in that crash. Guy that been working as a house painter, but not just an everyday house painter, down in Naples, Florida, put enough money together for this team, and I mean big money.
Yeah, bright kid. He's got a couple of degrees from Florida State, one in criminology and another one in economics. Maybe he should have taken one in body work. Let's go to Steve Burns.
Hey, Dick, you know, you guys are right. I was talking to Kevin Counselor. He's an impressive guy. Worked his way through Florida State University painting, and when he graduated, he said he had 2 degrees, and he made more money painting. Well, the kind of houses he paints now, the last one he did was $260,000. He's got 50 employees and flies his own plane to these races, so he's done pretty well by using those painters.
Not bad for a house painter. Kevin Counselor. We'll take another look at that wreck shortly here. 3rd Pocono ARCA race. Take a commercial break, then get back for the start. Take a look what happened here and watch Cooper in the 47.
Kevin Ray in the 79 there, just a little contact makes it by.
Tomorrow, starting at 12:35 on the Superstation, it's the Pennsylvania 500. And the question is, can defending champion Jeff Gordon repeat? Or can pole sitter Mike Skinner pull it together? Find out tomorrow here on the Superstation. 12:35 pre-race, 105 will drop the green. Getting down to showtime here in the ARCA Pepsi 200. showing 75-76 complete when they come by this time, with 4 laps of green to decide it. Alexander and Kimmel up in front, first and second. Baird and Findlay, third and fourth. Mike Swain, Kurt Shelmerdine come next. Then Tracy Leslie. And then Lance Hooper in that number 47 is in 8th.
He's running out of laps to win this race.
Flanagan is in 9th. Bobby Gerhart 10th.
And Gerhart just got fresh tires on his car to make a run to the checkered flag from that 10th spot.
We also saw Kevin Ray come on pit road. He was a lucky guy down there in that turn, that incident just moments ago.
You just talked about fresh tires on the 10th place car right now, but the one thing he has going against him is all the lap traffic on the inside, and the preferred line around this racetrack through the corners is the bottom of the racetrack.
Alexander got a great start last time. He's going to need another great start with Kimmel on the back bumper and Baird right behind him. Findlay behind him as we get into the tail end of this thing.
Picking up speed. Safety car ready to duck in. Down for the finish. Alexander, Kimmel, and Baird, 1, 2, and 3s. Numbers 97, 46, and 52, respectively. We'll be keeping an eye on Hooper out of 8th position. 11 cars down to the bottom. Here we come. Remember, this straightaway is 3,700 feet long. If you've got the power to pull it, you're in great shape here. There's some separation between 4th and the rest of the field as they take green. Alexander draws a bead on winning this race. Kimmel coming after him again.
As they head down in turn 1, the lap traffic there backed off the throttle and let these guys go at it so they could race to the finish. Look at Baird on the bottom of the racetrack as they head down towards the back straightaway.
50 years old on Monday, Bill Baird leading the ARCA points through the first 10 races of the year, trying to close down on Kimmel, looking back from the leader, Alexander. Tunnel turn.
Ride right out against the wall. About 160 miles an hour as you start down into turn 3. You'll hear them get out of the throttle, set the car into a drift right here.
Back they come. Laps running down, 3 fingers out from the flagman.
Baird in 3rd spot, yet to lead a lap today. He's led more laps than anybody else this year in ARCA competition. 1 more races, leads the points.
Hooper closing right up on Tracy Leslie. But at the rate that Alexander's pulling away, he's running for just another position. For the lead, it's all Alexander, Kimmel, and Baird. Alexander took the pole. You're just joining us. He was there with a new event record for ARCA, 164 miles an hour here on this 2.5-mile track at Pocono, Pennsylvania.
The front 2 cars have pulled away from Bill Baird just a little bit. You see there's about a 15-car interval between 2nd and 3rd.
Kimmel hangs right on in 2nd spot, the 37-year-old veteran from Jeffersonville, Indiana. Staying right with it here, qualified 3rd. That Larry Clement prepared car. He was 1st here at Pocono earlier this year. Frank Kimmel winning back in June, and there are 2 to go.
What a great story, this kid Alexander. Oh, on the inside, Kimmel looking him over, and then on the outside, Alexander with his only race car in the stable, a borrowed engine, leading here at Pocono as we enter the final laps.
Frank Kimmel looking for his 17th ARCA victory. The challenger. It is still Blaze Alexander holding on to that lead now by 3 car lengths as they go to the tunnel turn. Take a look at Hooper trying to move by Shelmerdine.
Yeah, but he's on the outside there. Shelmerdine, oh, he just outbraves him going down in the tunnel turn and takes that spot away.
What an exciting race driver, this Lance Hooper. Southwest has got a lot to be proud of there. For the lead. White flag is out and 1 lap to go. Alexander and Kimmel come after it. Baird is 3rd. Mike Hawkwood.
Can he hold on, Ken? He lost 4th gear the last lap. He's not able to shift as they head down into the turn 1. Blaze Alexander to lead.
So far, so good as he goes into the first of 3 turns on his final lap. Alexander heading down the Long Pond Straight in command. Hooper in 2nd spot. Kimmel in 2nd spot.
watching that lead driver. He just eases it through this final lap, halfway home to victory.
Right now, all he has to do is be very smooth, keep that run and momentum out of turn 3, and I believe Blaze Alexander has the lead enough to win the race.
Blaze Alexander, he won at Toledo on a half-mile in the same car. He's coming to the 2.5-mile Pocono Raceway, and he's winning today. Blaze Alexander, Pennsylvania driver, does it in front of the hometown folks, or the home state folks. What a fine performance for Blaze Alexander. This is going to be some victory for him. Kimmel pulls up to congratulate. They really had a dogfight. And Bill Baird, the veteran, third. Mike Hogwood.
No, we're with Dave Leiter. Hey, how much did your heart skip when you dropped the gear there at 2 laps to go?
My heart sank down to my feet. I got to tell you, my hat's off to Blaze, the Perkins Chevrolet, Lisa Express, Sunoco Lubricants, all of them. Everybody's done a great job. These guys have worked their tails off back at the shop. I got to thank Sabco for the motor. They built us an awesome motor. I just can't tell you how wonderful this feels. I got to get up there. This is wonderful.
Hey, go celebrate.
The Perkins Restaurant Chevrolet served up a 4-star special here today in the Pepsi ARCA 200. We'll meet him in victory lane.